I'm next to Al, right? Tell my next guest.
Oh, light came on, give us some light too.
Do you want to be in the picture? Okay. I want to just get everybody. Okay, I have everybody, and I'll move closer so I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. So, good evening.
Good evening.
This is an emergency veto meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held in front of City Hall on August the 20th, 2021 at time 7:30 p.m. In accordance to statute NJSA 10:4-9, meeting of a public body, adequate notice to the public, necessity exceptions. Item B, upon the affirmative vote of 3/4 of members present, a public body may hold a meeting notwithstanding the failure to provide adequate notice if such a meeting is required in order to deal with matters of such urgency and importance that a delay for the purpose of providing adequate notice will be likely to result in substantial harm to the public interest, and the meeting is limited to the discussion of and acting with respect to such matters of urgency and importance, and notice of such meeting is provided as soon as possible following the calling of such meeting by posting written notice of the same in public places described in section 3D above, and also by notifying 2 newspapers described in section 3D by telephone, telegram, or delivering a written notice of the same to such newspaper. No pledge of allegiance.
Yes.
Can we have a pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilmember Eason. Here. Councilmember Johnson Jr.
Present.
Councilmember Montague III.
Present.
Councilmember Ross.
Present.
Councilmember Summers-Johnson is absent. Councilmember Wooten is absent. Council President Coley.
Present.
Also present is Joyce Lanier, the City Clerk, and Lisette Sanchez, the Deputy City Clerk. The prior meeting was noticed. It was sent to the Star Ledger and to the transcript on Monday, August the 16th. It was posted in the city website, the council's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. This particular meeting was canceled by the mayor of Orange Township. Citizen comments? I have some. I should probably read them into the record.
Please do.
Citizen comments. Please be apprised anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall be allowed to participate in this portion of the council meeting via audio call-in number and video conferencing platform by stating their name, address, and when directed to do so by the council president. All public comments submitted through electronic mail or written letter before the meeting shall be read aloud by the city clerk. The city council reserves the right to respond or not respond during the meeting to any citizen questions or comments. If the council wishes to address any comments, it shall be done during the remote meeting. We received citizen comments from Samantha Crockett, 270 Haywood Avenue. Good afternoon, my name is Samantha Crockett. I reside with my family on 270 Haywood Avenue. I'm speaking as an active citizen, not a member of the school board. I urge council members to listen to the community members when voting on issues that affect all of us. Your recent vote to ban cannabis and raise taxes make me feel like council members are not open to listening to the community and make the necessary adjustments that we propose. We can get so much done for Orange if we work together and listen to each other. I am opposed to banning cannabis in our community regardless of my own personal opinion. The state of New Jersey vote to legalize the use of sale of cannabis, allowing legal sale of cannabis will support legitimate small business and bring revenue into the Orange. This can be used to offset the extremely high property taxes that you place on us each year. I am also opposed to the tax increase, especially the tax increase comments I won't read because they're not relevant to the ordinance. My hope is that council works together with each other and the community to make tough decisions that begin repairing our city so that families can live here for generations to come. Christopher Jackson. Have the administration or municipal council received written summary defining New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Enforcement Assistant and Marketplace Modernization Act? And if so, will it be publicized to inform the citizens as well? What information was compiled that informed the decisions made in Ordinance 14-2021? Was the public consulted regarding this position? And if so, who was communicated with, when, and what did they say? What proposals for implementing appropriate regulations were discussed and why were they defeated? Why are positions of OBE, OPD, and OFD, the municipal court and the administration, including various department offices in their unique roles regarding legal cannabis businesses in Orange? Were the ABC, zoning board, or planning board consulted or informed regarding cannabis businesses in Orange? What inquiry was made directly to citizens regarding cannabis business here, and how did they respond when information meetings were conducted? Which entrepreneurs have shown interest in establishing a cannabis business in Orange? Please describe the business proposed. Has the Chamber of Commerce been consulted or taken a position regarding cannabis business in Orange? Has any business currently based here registered an invitation, concern, or complaint regarding cannabis business here? What plans have been made to further explore, consider issues on cannabis business in Orange following the passage of Ordinance 14-2021? Why delay taking action to build a system for conducting appropriate cannabis business for Orange now and not wait to follow someone else's example? Is there a motion to close citizen comments?
Motion to close citizen comments.
Second, Johnson Jr.
Motion by Councilmember Montague III, second by Councilmember Johnson Jr. Roll call. Councilwoman Eason? Yes. Councilman Johnson Jr.?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers-Johnson is absent. Councilwoman Wooten is absent. Council President Coley?
Yes.
Ordinance for reconsideration. 14-2021. An ordinance to amend the code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 210, Development Regulations, to prohibit any class of cannabis business within its geographical boundaries, sponsored by Council members Tency Eason, Kerry J. Coley, Harold J. Johnson Jr., Weldon M. Montague III, and Clifford R. Ross. Is there a motion to accept or override the veto?
Motion to override the veto.
Motion to override the veto by Councilmember Johnson Jr.
Second by Montague.
Second by Councilmember Montague III. On the motion?
On the motion.
Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Eason? Yes. Councilmember Johnson Jr.?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers-Johnson is absent. Councilmember Wooten is absent. Council President Coley?
Yes.
The mayor's veto has now been overridden. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion.
Second, Johnson Jr.
Motion by Councilmember Eason, second by Councilmember Johnson Jr. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned at
Time.
Time is 7:45.
7:45. Okay.
Thank you, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you, clerk's office, for spending your evening with us. Thank you so much.
Y'all stamped it before you.
I'm getting ready to stamp it now. I should have stamped it before.
Can I make a comment? Floor's over. Yes. I just want everyone to realize and know that Weldon Montague is in favor of the cannabis legislation. I just want to do it responsibly. I want to know how many distribution places. I want to know everything about it before we roll it out on a community. It is a definite yes. If we get the legislation together and we put it up for a vote, I will be voting it in, but we got to do it responsibly.
We have another statement by Councilman. I have another statement too.
Don't come so close.
Councilman Ross here. When the cannabis issue was first introduced to the Orange Municipal Council, I made it very clear I was on the fence for bringing it to Orange. I wanted to get more information about the cannabis industry and how it would benefit our community. As a legislator, our job is to investigate and gather all the facts so that we can draft good laws for the township. I made it my business to get all the information I could to make a decision I could live with and would be best for the township of Orange. I did attend an informational forum held by Brown Box and ID 93. I had meetings with the clergy here in Orange, as well as the Board of Education and members of the Chamber of Commerce for their thoughts, opinions, and recommendations. Again, this decision should be vetted out amongst all parties and not just one group. I do understand that a vast majority of the township voted for cannabis. However, there is a population here in Orange that is vehemently opposed to cannabis in the township of Orange. They are taxpayers also. Do we turn a deaf ear to them? Today I have one foot on the ground and one still on the fence. In my mind, this could be worked out amicably if we work together. In my opinion, it would be prudent to get the rules and regulations from the State Regulatory Commission and study them carefully. The rules for personal use cannabis was adopted yesterday, August the 19th, 2021, and it was 160 pages. We cannot legislate if we don't have the rules to be guided by. To date, the Commission has not accepted any new licenses for recreational businesses. Matters of discussion is zoning, security, hours of operation, how many classes of cannabis do we allow, taxes and revenue stream, social issues and programs, and how do we get the profits. The Municipal Council, along with the Mayor, our Law Department, Police Department, Zoning and Planning Board, should discuss and work out proposals that have been previously drafted and come up with a final comprehensive plan that works for all. A committee should be created to vet out prospective license applicants and to enforce the rules and regulations we put in place. We have to remember that the Township of Orange is only 2.2 square miles, and it's very important that we get this legislation correct. Marijuana is a drug, and it should be regulated responsibly. If we rush and get it wrong, it could be very detrimental to our town. As previously mentioned by our council president, by opting to ban cannabis business now, we can opt back then at any time. Thank you very much.
Any other comments?
Thank you. I'll step forward. I'd like to thank my council colleagues for being astute and coming out this evening. I just want to read for the record what everybody is actually referring to, and I'll read it out loud. It's under municipal considerations, 5-year period. A municipality that fails to enact an ordinance prohibiting the operation of one or more classes of cannabis establishment before August the 21st, 2021 is precluded from passing an ordinance banning the operation for a period of 5 years. After this 5-year period, a municipality has another 180-day window to prohibit or limit cannabis operations. But this action only applies prospectively. Those who initially opt out can opt in at any time. That's what we're aiming for, protecting the citizens with the cannabis ordinance that we put out to make sure that the city wouldn't get caught in this conundrum of this 5-year period. And that's what has actually been knocked down and vetoed by the mayor, which I think is really, in the law department, I think it's really, really negligent on their part to have the town exposed to this 5-year period when we actually had the ordinance in place to prevent it from happening. Thank you. Councilman Harold Johnson.
I just want to say, all we are waiting for is legislation. We're not against cannabis coming to Orange, but it has to have some guidelines, some structure, and we have to pass responsible legislation and make sure we take into consideration our children, our schools, our faith-based organizations, and everybody, and our seniors, everybody that's going to be affected. So all we want to do is just put a hold on it, let's stop the madness until we get legislation in place. And our hope is that the mayor will agree to work with us so we can do the legislation, which he promised before. So, and if he doesn't, we will do it anyway. But we need to protect our citizens, and this council is committed to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have a whole lot to say, Kerry, Coley, Council President. As my council colleagues previously stated, that we are trying to put together a responsible plan and ordinance for the cannabis industry. There was a proposed ordinance that was not introduced, but submitted by the administration, by the mayor. There was some back in June. There were some questions that these council members had. We submitted those questions to the mayor, and as of today, our questions have not been answered. We are trying our best to do this whole thing responsibly. So when folks say that we are against cannabis, no, we are just trying to do a responsible plan for the Township of Warren. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Very much.
Thank you.
So now, when you go to